Hello and welcome all of you to the fifth day or the last day of this internal training session on advances in welding. Today we will start discussing about laser beam welding. In the previous 4 days, we had seen what are the basic principles of welding process. Then we had seen the recent technologies like friction stir welding, ultrasonic welding, and we have also seen electron beam welding. So today is the last session and we will discuss on laser beam welding. So first of all, yes, good morning to all of you. First of all, we will start. What do we mean by laser? So all of us does have a certain amount of understanding about this laser. So laser is a device which emits light through a process of optical amplification, okay, based on the principles of electromagnetic radiation. So what is the full form of laser? Laser is basically an acronym which stands as light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. Okay, so this is the basic acronym, or this is the abbreviation of laser. Now let us start and discuss what do we mean by laser welding. So here we can see. Hello, is there any feedback or echo going on?
No, sir.
Okay. So laser beam welding is a process which is used to join together metals or thermoplastics using a laser beam to form a weld. Okay. So laser is nothing but a concentrated heat source. You will find that in thin materials, laser welding can be carried out at very high welding speeds. That means in meters per minute. Okay. And in thicker materials, this laser welding can produce narrow but deep welds between square-edged parts. Now, this narrow but deep welds mean that they have a low width to depth ratio. That means the width of the weld will be less, but the depth of penetration or the depth of the welding will be higher. Okay, so laser welding has its specialization in producing this narrow but deep welds. That means the width of the joint may be less, but it will be penetrating the work surface or the workpiece up to a certain extent, which will obviously give you the joint that you are looking for. Now, what happens? The focused laser beam has the highest energy concentration of any source of energy. So any laser beam should be focused enough so that it can give you the highest source of energy. Okay, that means it is nothing but a source of electromagnetic energy. Laser beam can be also thought of light rays. Okay, it is nothing but light rays, but they are concentrated and they are focused and they are being incidenting on a workpiece. Okay, that means here we will understand that this light energy convert hit the workpiece, hit the surface of the workpiece. This conversion of energy goes on. Okay, and always remember that these laser beams, they are coherent source of light. Coherent source of light. Coherent means it is a single phase. Okay, and it is obviously having a single wavelength, or the word monochromatic is also used with laser welding. Okay, so now let us see what are the mechanisms by which we can perform a laser beam welding. So here we can see there are basic 5 principles by which we can create the laser beam welding. So first of all, there will be a light pump. That means it will give you the light, the necessary amount of light, which will be providing energy to the medium. So that now this medium can vary. This medium can be of gas. This medium can be of solid state. Okay, and this medium can also be of diode. So depending on the medium, energy will be provided to the certain medium, and this medium will excite the laser so that these electrons held within its atoms will be elevated temporarily to a higher energy state. Okay, so because of the supply of this energy to the medium, the laser will be excited so that the electrons which are which are within the atoms, which are held in the atoms, they will be elevated temporarily to the higher states. Okay, then what will happen? There is a restriction. The electrons held in this excited state cannot remain there indefinitely, and they will drop down to a lower energy level because the electrons are rotating, because the electrons are in motion. So what will happen? They will continuously lose this energy that it has received. Okay, so then they will drop down to a lower energy level. Now the electrons will again lose the excess energy gained from the pump energy by emitting a photon. Okay, now here comes the principle of laser. So this electron will lose the excess energy that it has received, and it will emit photon. Okay, so if you remember the concept of photoelectric effect, then you can understand what is a photon. Okay, so this as these electrons lose the excess energy which they have gained earlier, and thus generating or emitting photon, this principle or this emission is called as spontaneous emission. Okay, so these are called as spontaneous emission, and you must understand these photons are the start of laser generation. So after the photons have been generated, you can say that the laser generation principle has been started. Okay, now coming to the next process, which is the process of stimulated emission. Now what do you mean by stimulated emission? Now the photons which have been generated because of the electrons which has loosened up the energy, now these photons emitted by spontaneous emission, they will eventually strike other electrons in the higher energy states. So first of all, what was happening? There was certain amount of energy provided to the medium, which elevated the electrons to a higher energy states. But there will be some electrons which will be unable to remain at that elevated state. So they will lose their energy, and eventually they will generate a photon. Now these photons which have been generated, they will eventually strike the other electrons which are still in that elevated state. So that means other photons will also generate. Okay, so the incoming photon knocks the electron down from the excited state to a lower energy level, creating another photons. Okay, so first of all, what happened? If you just go through the process, first of all, electrons were elevated to the higher energy states as certain amount of energy was provided to it. Then what happened? As the electrons are in motion, they cannot remain in this elevated state indefinitely. So they will drop down to the lower energy levels, and they will generate photons. Now these photons which have been generated, they will consequently hit the electrons which are still in that higher energy states, and consequently generating more and more photons. Okay, now these photons are obviously coherent, that means they are in single phase, and they are also of same wavelength, and they will be traveling in the same direction. Now this is called as the stimulated emission. So stimulated emission means the photons which have been generated one by one, they will be of coherent, they will be monochromatic, and they will be traveling in the same direction. That means the photons will be traveling in a shape of a laser beam, and this process is called as the principle of stimulated emission. Now what we need to do, we need to magnify, we need to amplify the emission which is being released. So now we have photons with us, now we have the source of energy being created, but that this amount is not enough to generate the thermal energy which is required for welding. So this is why we need to amplify, we need to magnify the rate of emission. So what we do, and there is also an important factor which you must consider. These photons which are being generated, they will be emitting in all directions. Okay, so now what will happen, as the photons are emitted in all possible directions, some of the photons will travel along the laser medium to strike the resonator mirrors. Okay, there will be some resonator mirrors, so that the principle of resonance, you know the principle of resonance, increasing the amplitude. Okay, the basic principle of resonance is to increase the amplitude. Okay, amplitude, or increasing or magnifying the amplitude, the vibration amplitude. Okay, so these photons which are being emitted in all possible directions, they will travel along the laser medium. Now I have already told, this laser medium can be gas, can be solid, or it can be diode also. Okay, so traveling through this laser medium, they will strike the resonate mirrors, so that their amplitude can be magnified and they will be reflected back through the medium. Now this resonators, or this resonator mirrors, they will define. So depending upon the quality, the parameters which this resonator mirrors define, our laser beam will generate, or our laser beam will be amplified as per our requirement. That means depending on the workpiece which is to be welded and how much power is necessary to weld that material, this resonator will amplify the laser beams which is being created. So laser beams are nothing but a collection of photons. Okay, that means laser beam is nothing but an electromagnetic wave. Okay, now at the sixth point, or at the last point, which is the basic concept which we generally say, that means the conversion of light energy into thermal energy. So the focus spot, the focus spot means where the welding needs to be done. The focus spot of the laser is targeted on the workpiece which is to be welded. Okay, now at the surface, the concentration of light energy, at the surface, the concentrated light energy will get converted into thermal energy. Okay, the heat will cause the surface of the material to get melted. Okay, the heat will cause the surface to be melted, and this melting process can be progressed throughout the surface, which is called as the surface conductivity. Okay, that means if the surface is enough conductive, then it can conduct the heat which is being generated, or the light energy which has been converted into laser energy. Generally, what happens in case of laser beam welding, there is a method which we call as keyhole method of welding. A keyhole or a vapor of laser material is being formed. That means these lasers are of so much intensity so that it hits the workpiece and it creates a vapor. Okay, and this vapor can be moved along the surface which is to be welded. Suppose we are trying to do a butt weld. That means at the interface you will see that a horizontal line is there. It will hit a certain zone or a certain spot. It will vaporize the material, and this laser would make this vaporized material travel along the interface where the welding needs to be done. And because of this vaporized medium which is being traveling along the weld surface, that makes the welding possible. Okay, now depending on the surface conductivity, this this laser weldings needs to be changed, because every material will have different thermal conductivity in its nature. Now you can see the beam energy level or the laser energy level is maintained below the vaporization temperature of the workpiece material. The ideal thickness of the materials to be welded is 20 millimeter. The energy is the energy in laser is concentrated, where you can find an advantage when they are working with the materials that have higher thermal conductivity. Uh, so you can understand the materials which possess higher thermal conductivity, it will be an advantage while doing the laser beam welding, because the heat which is being generated, because of thermal energy which is being generated by the laser welding, that can be traveled along the interface of the welding which is to be created. Now coming to the laser beam welding types. So there are basically two modes or two parameters or two types where this laser beam welding can be done. Okay, before that, I would like to show you a video so that it can be easily understood. Okay, just a minute. So first of all, see this one. What is basically a laser welding? So let us just see that. So you had earlier watched the laser source, and now you can see the welding, how it is done. So you can see that this vaporized laser is being traveling along the interface of the welding, which is to be created. Okay. Now there is another one example here. You can see. So this laser welding can be automated. It can be done by a device which can be held by our hands. Okay, there are different types of laser welding possible. Okay. So as we are discussing, so there are generally two types of laser beam welding modes. The first one being the conduction limited welding, and the second one being the keyhole method of welding. Now, depending on the power density which the laser beam possesses, these welding modes are defined. When the power density is typically less than 105 or 105 watt per centimeter square, so you can understand that means power density, power per unit area. That is nothing but the power density. Okay. So depending on the area of the workpiece, this power density is defined. So when the power density is typically less than 105 watt per centimeter square, it is called as the conduction limited welding. Okay, now when the laser beam is absorbed only at the surface of the material, that means there is no need of penetration. You just need to do the surface welding. Okay, so when the laser beam is only observed at the surface medium and does not penetrate it. Okay, so this is why in case of conduction limited welding, you will see a high width to depth ratio. That means if you do the ratio calculation for width divided by depth, then for conduction limited welding, you will find that the width is much more compared to the depth because it doesn't have in. Hello, do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
স্যার বলছিলাম যে আপনি বললেন যে যে মেটালটাকে ওয়েল্ড করা হবে তার থার্মাল কন্ডাক্টিভিটি একটু বেশি হতে হবে, ওটা কিসের জন্য বলেছিলেন?
The conductivity needs to be higher because so that this heat which is being generated at the focus spot that can be transmitted along the surface. Jar conductivity joto beshi hobe, that will be easier. It will have easier characteristics to transfer the heat. Conductivity means if a material has higher conductivity, then heat can transfer easily from one part to the another part of the surface. So those materials which have the higher thermal conductivities will be easier to weld because you can see that this laser beam will be concentrated and will be focused on a certain spot, and then it will travel along the interface. So if the heat is also traveling with this, if the heat is also conducted within the surface, then it will make the laser beam welding process much more easier. Okay.
Okay, sir. Understand.
Okay. Now coming to the, so we have seen that in case of conduction limited welding, generally there is very less depth of penetration where only the surface part is welded, and this is why it exhibits a higher width to depth ratio. Whereas in case of keyhole welding, you will see the power density which is required is much more than 106 to 107 watt per centimeter square, and in this case the joints exhibit a low width to depth ratio. That means in case of keyhole welding, we are much more worried about the depth of penetration compared to the width of the joint. Okay, now what happens here? The focused laser beam penetrates into the workpiece. Okay, the focused laser beam penetrates into the workpiece, creating a cavity. Okay, this cavity is specifically called as the keyhole. Okay, so first of all, this laser beam will be focusing on a certain spot which we call as the focus spot, and it will vaporize the material and it will create a cavity which is called as a keyhole. Okay, now this hello, any questions? Okay, so this keyhole is nothing but filled with metal vapor, okay, which in some cases can also be ionized or in plasma state. Okay, is that clear? So laser beam is focusing on a certain focus spot and it is creating a cavity, and this cavity is filled with metal vapor. Okay, the metal which is to be welded, and its vapor is filling up this cavity. This cavity is generally called as the keyhole. Now this keyhole or this cavity which is filled with this metal vapor, it will expand along the interface of the welding which is to be created. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens? Deep penetration welding. Okay. So there is a discussion going on in the chat box that so Pushpendra has rightly pointed out um, what do you mean by sockets or which type of sockets you are referring to. So that's an important question. So we will take these questions later on. Okay. So we must understand that the deep penetration welding is then achieved by traversing the keyhole along the joint to be welded. Okay, that is the point. That means the keyhole which has been formed, that will be traversed along the interface. That will be moved along the interface where the welding needs to be created. Okay, so there is a certain pattern which is formed because of the surface tension. Now, what happens? Some of the molten material at the leading edge of this cavity will flow back to the keyhole in the downwards direction because of surface tension, and some of it would try to come upwards. So because of this mechanism going on, you will see a certain pattern which is called as chevron pattern. Okay, this chevron pattern is generally formed in case of laser welding because of this surface tension, because of the principles of surface tension. Okay, so now we can move on to the next part where we will see or we will discuss the laser beam equipment or the laser beam medium. Okay, so generally you will see there are three types of laser medium. I have already mentioned. The first one being the gas lasers, the second one being the solid state lasers, and the third one being the diode lasers. So gas lasers generally uses a mixture of helium and nitrogen. They are generally of low current, high voltage power source to excite the gas mixture using a lasing medium. They can be operated in pulsed or continuous mode. Do you know what is the difference between pulse mode and continuous mode? Can anyone say? What is the difference between pulse mode and continuous mode? Pulse mode means it will be obviously
Sir,
intermittent. Yes, please.
পালস মোড মানে হচ্ছে বিট পার সেকেন্ডে কতগুলো পালস আসছে, আর নর্মাল যেটা আমরা স্টেডি ফ্লোটা করা হয়, মানে আমাদের ফ্লুইড মেকানিক্সে যে স্টেডি ফ্লোটা হয় ওটাই হচ্ছে আমাদের নর্মাল স্টেডি ফ্লো।
Okay, okay. So it is a quite very well explanation. So this is how we can characterize the pulse mode or continuous mode. Okay. So these gas lasers, they generally emit coherent radiation. That means they emit single phase radiation when they are contained in an optical cavity. Okay. Now they can be also operated continuously, but generally they are operated at low levels of power. Now in the present days, some developments have been done according to these gas lasers. We have observed that uh, it can be also operated continuously at higher power outputs. Okay, the gas lasers will be pumped by high radio frequency generators. Okay, these gas lasers will be pumped by high radio frequency generators. As I had mentioned, the case of pump energy, which is being transferred to the electrons so that they can be elevated. So here we can see the gas lasers, they will be pumped by high radio frequency generators which will raise sufficiently the gas atoms up to a high energy level so that the electrons can be elevated, and then consequently the photons can be generated, and thereafter the laser beams can be created. Okay, now currently Now you can see the use of carbon dioxide lasers also. It obviously uses a mixture of high purity carbon dioxide with helium and nitrogen as the lasing medium. Okay, now generally there are also dual beam laser welding where the beam is split into two equal power beams. Now an important development is that in present days 2000 watt or 2 kilowatt carbon dioxide laser systems are in use. Okay, so this is huge amount of power or huge amount of power density. Okay, now coming to the solid state lasers, here you can see that NDYAG or ruby lasers. So NDYAG lasers mean neodymium doped. Okay, so there is a bit of electronics involved in it. So you can see this neodymium is nothing but a semiconductor. Okay, so they have been created to develop the solid state lasers. They will be operating at 1 micrometer wavelengths, and they can also operate at pulsed. They can operate as pulsed mode, or they can also operate continuously. Okay, so both of this pulse mode or continuous mode is possible here. Okay, so now coming to the later part, which are the metals, which kind of metals can be welded through laser welding? So you can see a lot of metals can be welded through laser welding. So generally aluminum, titanium, low alloy and stainless steel, nickel, platinum, molybdenum, copper. So these are the materials which can be welded. So I will show you a video where you will see the Audi company is using the welding of aluminum in laser welding mode. So let us check out this video. Okay, so just give me.
The core for future automotive lightweight design is a stable and at the same time a very flexible joining process technology. And the new approach for that is the laser beam remote welding process of aluminum. And the main challenge during the development of this process is the hot crack susceptibility of aluminum. And therefore, we developed with the company Precitek this process by the use of a temporal and spatial modulation of the laser beam. During the development of this novel technology, the laser beam remote welding process, we found a lot of different advantages compared to a tactile guided welding process. A main benefit is the reduction of the used laser power and the increase of the welding velocity, which results in a reduction of the line energy per unit of about 50%. We also reduced the CO2 emissions during the process compared to a tactile guided process by a quarter. Another aspect are the costs. Using this process, and in addition by an implementation of the quality assurance system, we can reduce the investment costs of a whole process system compared to a tactile guided system of about 26%. But not only the investment costs can be reduced, there's also a reduction of the running costs. Because of the elimination of the filler wire and the shielding gas and all the delivery devices which are used in a tactile guided process, we can reduce the running costs by 95%. The first implementation of this novel process technology, the laser beam remote welding process of aluminum, we started with the new Audi A8 at all the doors. In future car vehicle models, we also will implement this process technology, and there, for example, for the tailgate of the new Audi A7.
So I think now you have understood how the laser welding can be used in these companies. Okay, so there is a lot of application of laser welding in the okay, in case of automobiles, there is a lot of laser welding use. Okay, and as we are discussing, these are the materials. Okay, so these are the materials which can be welded through the laser welding process. And what are the advantages? So let us check out those. You can see laser beam welding gives you a certain amount of speed and flexibility. It is able to create deep and narrow welds. Okay, now as I was talking about the speeds can range up to to meters per minute. So that is comparatively very high speed. Now this laser beam welding can be automated also. So it gives you a certain amount of flexibility so that you can do this welding or perform this welding in all possible directions. Okay. As we are discussing about the deep narrow welds. So if you are using the keyhole method of laser welding, then it will always give you low width to depth welds, which is very much important to create joints which will possess higher strength. They will obviously exhibit higher strength because the weld material penetration is comparatively higher in this case. Okay, now this low distortion and low heat input. So if you search the video of laser welding, you will find a certain video where a cube of steel is being laser welded, and I was observing yesterday. All the 6 surfaces of this cube were being welded, but there was no kind of distortion. The welding was done by a laser torch held by an operator, and he was doing it perfectly, and there was nothing. There was no kind of distortion. That means the surfaces didn't distort, or there was nothing change in their dimension. So this is an important parameter. That means it creates low distorted joints. Okay, and the heat input which is being given to the weld joints, that is comparatively lesser than the arc welding heat input. Still, it gives you the efficient joint characteristics, which is ultimately the goal of any welding process. Now, again, coming to the laser beam welding. So it is suitable for a range of materials, as we have seen over here. So these are the range of materials which can be laser welded, and it can be done for a certain range of thickness. Okay. So this laser welding can be done below 1 millimeter. That means 0.5 millimeters to 30 millimeter welds can be done through this method, through this laser beam welding. Okay, now in the previous class, we had seen that electron beam welding obviously needs a vacuum to be performed. But this is the advantage of laser beam welding. It doesn't require a vacuum where the welding should be created. It can be done in open atmosphere. Okay, so and now coming to the process, it is a non-contact single-sided process. Okay, so there is no need of uh, conducting or making the filler material contact or touch the workpiece, so that this filler material will be melted and the welding will be done. So there is no requirement of contact. Okay, so it is a non-contact single sided process. Okay, it is it can be also operated in the pulse mode. So this is a non-continuous welding. This is an advantage also. As per your requirement, you can do the welding. As we were understanding in the video, when the shaft was being welded at four separate points, so that was probably the requirement of the welder. So he did this welding at the uh, using the pulse mode, which is an example of non-continuous welding. Okay, now apart from welding, so now we are moving on to the versatility part, where we'll see apart from welding, these laser beams can be used for different operations. Laser cutting, machining. These are the other operations which can be done through this laser beam. Okay. So now with this, uh, we will now check out the limitations. So the rapid cooling rate. Since there is high generation of thermal energy, that means the sooner you heat up the material, the faster the cooling rate. Okay, the amount of heat which is being transferred to the material surface, if it is thermally conductive, then it will reject this heat very fast, so that it will create a higher cooling rate. Okay, so this higher cooling rate obviously gives you a refined grain, but if the cooling rate is higher than the optimized level, then it may create hardened grains. Okay, which gives you enough hardness, but the ductility part, which was a requirement also, that will be removed. It will be hardened. Okay. Now, obviously, coming to the economics, you will see that it will have a high capital cost, and the optical surfaces of the laser can be easily damaged, and obviously there are high maintenance costs associated also. So do you have any questions? Or okay, before that, uh, let us uh, let us show you how this laser beam welding can be done for contour surfaces. Okay, that means in this case, you will see that this will be an automated welding. So till now, we have seen welding through a linear direction. So this will be interesting for you. Okay, so let us check that. So here you can see that contour over here. This is obviously automated. You can see this excellent welding happening over here. Okay, so non-contact single side process. And this is obviously a continuous welding, but it can be also operated through the pulse mode. Okay, so this was a interesting thing. Now let us check out this one, where you will find the application of laser welding in the sheet metal production. Sorry. So at the end of the session, I will share this video so that you can watch it through the audios also. Okay, so I am unable to share the audio part. So do you have any questions regarding this laser welding? Any queries
No,
or
sir.
any questions?
No.
Yes,
স্যার রোহন বলছি স্যার।
sure.
হ্যাঁ স্যার বলছি ওই যে যে ভেপারটা থাকে যেটা ফিল করে ওটা কি আলাদা মেটালের কোনো ভেপার থাকে নাকি ওইটাই মেল্ট হয়ে ভেপার হয়ে যায়?
It is of the same material.
ও আচ্ছা।
Okay, it is of the same material. This laser beam is focused in a certain point so that it vaporizes the material which is to be welded, and this vaporized metal is traversed or moved in the direction of the weld interface. Okay,
ওকে স্যার।
any other questions? Okay, so let us end our internal training session on advances in welding here. I hope it was an important experience for you, and I hope that you had got